A very CUT nerdy looking rock. Of course, inside of a world made in core hard, they straight up cannot ever cheat. They can't even do anything with the settings in there. Unlike the coffee version, methinks they, of course, are able to change the game mode at any time, all in the Rockbed version of the core hard mode. They, of course, straight up can't even change the settings to the beginning of uh, using the in-between app. Well, I could, of course, look in the thingy that will show a setting that says is hardcore, and then I can change it to fast, and then maybe, of course, it would make it turn into normal survival mode. Once we tried it, and it say true, it seemed to not even do anything. Maybe it wouldn't work. There really wouldn't be a way to cheat at all, not even from external ways. Or maybe it's because it's the normal version of the game which doesn't have hard mode yet. So the normal game got parameters, but they don't work right now. Sleepyhead needs to go take a nap. All thanks to the Farsian world, Amanda is a mighty CRFT Bedrick Frederick edition hardcore master. The Farsian world functions, and it's kind of a open world. The Song pack is the Song level, and soon it might be updated for the third movie. The Wars pack has functional thingies, but in a simple way. There's no custom sounds and all that. There was another world that was about Wars of Steamboat, kind of a story like thingy. I'm just thinking about it and remember when it comes to the old Leafy games, the three old ones, of course, inside of the Peach lineage, they are there. It's how long they are not REG-ish games. So, both that and Source games are not even available anywhere but through Alien competitors. Hold on, the real games, of course, are. They can be available in any CC member. There are games made with Unity, usually the ones that will say made with Unity. And then there's a Buzzless game which never says it anymore, but used to. But never did in any of the future games besides the very older versions of the old game. The best anyway, Buzzless paid for something that would allow the game to not show tasks as basically a ladder mark at the startup of every single one of the Buzzless games. It's seemingly like this seems like the only Unity game that never shows that it's made with Unity, so I never know if I never looked in its files. The YBR game does give away that's made with UE. But the because if the second game does. It seemed like he was doing pretty terrible, but now he turned around and is doing pretty good. Then there's a third one over there. He won the hardcore world now. It's official once he has his bed. He won. Yay. With the irritation though. Bam, he just won that world. So let's start a new one. Instead of X, Fat 32. We just need to get that. Specifically called Fat 32. All of the things that us have would just be called X Fat. All Fat 32 thingies on the storage devices using that OS 3 uses. It does work with any devices with higher than 4 GB of storage. The case was that it can only transfer things that are 4 GB or less. Wasn't as limited as we thought it was. The storage devices that you got, it would be 32 GB for 2 of those storage devices that OS 3 will use. So one for Mindy and one for Y. Let's have more storage devices to use. He's getting ready to win that world now. Now he needs the stone. Bunghole got really itchy. Not exactly in there, but kind of below the bunghole area got itchy. It's a fur buggy right there. For that delicious 4K video. Meanwhile, the C-Box only gets to make 30-second 4K clips. While OS 5 gets to make 1 hour long, 60 FPS-ish 4K clips. A C-Box, if that's what still used for N. OS 5 versus C-Box Series X. Which one's better? Why decides who was better? Versus OS 5 is better. The C-Box takes the giant L. Speaking of taking L's, if you see videos made by the Leprechauns about being inside of a giant doing nudes, like videos I used to see about that exact thing, but 5 or 6-ish years ago. He still hasn't won that world yet. He needs a bed. Also, Mindy can easily judge where he can drop down in order to avoid fall pain. where the music at there, BRUH. There it is. What that thing is right there. That's in the box, the equivalent to two moves and the way they sound when they run around. And there's another one again. He just heard another one. There's another one there. If he encounters a clef, then Wally has to make one go into Wily too. Oh boy, like the olden days. Because there just so happens to be one right there. Wants to do it just because. Boom, he just won that world now. I'm doing it. It appears that a far is out there in Teach Art now. Brand new world. Same gimmick. There's OS 5 buttons though. They're white. Normally they used to be collared buttons. With the OS 4 days, and then their OS 5 version of the game gets white buttons. And of course, the OS 5 controller doesn't have collared buttons, unlike the other systems below it. They, of course, did. The menu is thriving, and chatting is thriving. And the menu is chatting to Y and being normal all of a sudden. And he's chatting when you get like nothing. That's what happens. Is what if me doing or something like that in the olden days. Just to get in and out right now. It's a little bit quite jump because it's off. Another day of the year, definitely don't do it. Maybe that game is too easy if he encounters the CGPZ again. There. Of course there's a brown one. He just as we said that. But that game is just too easy if he encounters them again. If he encounters a hoglet, hottest to you while making one and going to Ollie too. Sounds like something that he definitely did in fact do before. He also did. He wants him to encounter an oink. But he's gonna try to do it. But with that music though, while making him be in Servival. It brings Mandy back. Wild garden, that's pale. Be really thick once it becomes available in that game. In he has two of that sword for some reason. If it's the rapid button fire problem. Time update. 5.45. But these students have the time up there. There, you found a hoglet. Student yourself sludgy with a 2 oily tooth. Good deal. Likes that. We'll do it any day. If he encounters a bow sea cast, then wants to if he encounters a mooey, then he has no idea what to do with it. Fox movie world. I suppose you just save that one for later and go back to that one. No, he already conquered it now. If he encounters a mooey or a fousey cast, then must they go in there and get the CK, bring it in war room. Well, that's something that they should do instead. Like if he finds a fousey cast or a mooey, then what needs to make our hands go over to the reality and totally not wash our hands. The whole time, the Johnny cakes. Yep. The idea of making our hands touch the poopy and totally not washing up our hands. This soap is so overrated.
See you later.
With far. Of course, this is around the time that Mulwakey, that Mako sponsor the ignorance outcome. As a kid, we're placing a game. It seems very special. The RNG does. Why RNG game started playing the public demo version of the album. Actually, the start kicker demo of RNG. Let me remember if there was a version of the game that didn't be random, and there was a mod that made it become random. And like the C box, so it looks like he gets to look around very smoothly. He hits him. Creepy. It's an EP. It is. Because he was a little bit too hasty there. I know that seems very Kidward House underground. It seems like it's really special. There's a fox, trotter, horse. Yay. Good deal. Be very Kiddo was having to count to 10 or something. The kiddo was saying a certain number and it was getting weaker and weaker until kiddo said one last number, sounding like the kiddo is completely shutting down like a sword before suddenly laying there seizing. It totally does prove that why it did. Maybe it was all exactly why I described it. While I was going to bed, I was having to get up and go to bed and then plopping down and suddenly feeling like nothing. And so it's to imagine that you having to go through that traumatic experience. Oh, and there was a drink too. Of all things, though, that seems that it was a drink that did it. The idea that maybe just simply drank something, maybe it was blue, as I really remember. But then, after going into a bathroom to equip some blue thing, and then, of course, consuming some drink or whatever. And then sitting in a bed, or well, laying in a bed for a while. Then Mindy is wheeled into a room, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, basically passing out instantly after the bed parked beside the one side of a very serious looking room with lots of lights and such. And we felt how Mindy was just simply scooting over onto the other bed, and then Mindy sat there and then kind of laid back and instantly sort of just did that and then felt like nothing, waking up in another room. It was one of the weirdest experiences ever. So it was definitely in probably 2015 or well, lots of years ago. I don't remember exactly when that happened. At least Mandy knows what it's like, though. Just to think that that's what us would have faced again when dealing with the wisdom teeth. It would have been the first time Mandy had to do it. For the first time in its existence, we have to have known the idea that Mandy would fly like nothing. Like I find Mandy's so I can't think about anything. Won't even be dreaming. There'll be nothing what we'll even feel and think of. Like our noggin will completely into rest mode at all. What is the Steam that isn't even active at all? And then somehow our noggin will go into autopilot mode and then somehow be able to control RL you ingest, however that works. Cloudy with a chance of or leaking toll covering or breathing tube. So now, here's what Mindy should do. The time is 6.01. Was to go out there, get to the kitchen, the 2 hours CTVG if it's full, just kind of keep it on war bed. I still do anyways. Yep, yep, yep. So do it. Still better see what the outcome is. By now, my foundation again. Although that seems now, though, like now they changed some of the keyboards, like those, and put them in a new category. Or they moved a few things around. Everybody's not used to them. And then, of course, they have collared names. Plus renames according to being like the Java edition. That's kind of thick, though. So that should have been called Spawner if parody would make them have the same name. It would no longer be called, well, the good old the cage as us knew it. Oh, so in copy version it's called something different. It's just called Spawner. Well, in that kind of the game, it's called what it is. Always remembered it to be called. It'd be so good. It'd be so disgusting if the name has to change and not be what I always knew it as. Of course, that's what it is in Java version compared to the other versions. Bundles of Bravery, that's what the update will be called. They spoiled it, huh? Why that gotta sound like this spooky Urdu music. Just out of absolutely nowhere. That's you guys, you're burning. Oh, there we captured it. Good. You guys, the humanity, guys, they're burning. Or spooky new hangover music. Or whatever it's called. What I called it. Spooky New Hanover music. Let's live in New Hanover, though. One giant state. That's the equivalent of where us are. According to an image that showed off all the two states in the real life USSR in New Hanover right now. So I'd love to hear the spooky music of that place. Has to go water our eyes. I will do. We'll make your hand go into Arlington gooing and I'll wash your hands afterward. Anyways. Oh wait, man, but why the OS 5 controller have to feel good though? Mindy approves. Pretty OS 5 HUH. Why, yes, it's so PRETTY AF. IT. Speaking of IT, I just need to see who combat. And see all that. Oh yeah, actually there's also that too, dare not forget. Why that specific music is so spooky though. Oh yeah, so even that music played in Annisburg. Of course, that's part of a WAN 10 music. BOB underscore Roanoke underscore amb underscore ow is the music. So the other music should of course be those which me found. Oh yeah, and when he made a video once while playing the game, he went there to of course go to the stable in order to get the goats and the ponies and all that. And of course when you heard that music, it did start as exactly right there. Yeah, of course that's the real music, and it did start exactly there. Yeah, of course the music did fade in though, but yeah, that's definitely the real thing. Of course there's also that. So the other version me remembers hearing. It comes with thoughts. 332 would be nothing more than that music forever. While oh, he looks like that living in that state, though. There's a music forever by cave. He used to be a video about that. Unless there. Him and his Tahiti, though. Him and his plans. REDDAD vacation. He likes his mangoes. Him, the one image. Oh, there's that music forever. I better not forget the idea that they will have to worry about spookiness. Because no one invented horror themes in the years the games took place. It was only until 20,000 when spooky themes been invented. So now, let's see if the time is 6.1. And if it is, I has to go in there and make our hand go into duality. Huh. Oh well, that sound though. They pop when it repeats all because of that, but the real sound didn't do that. It's really thick, however. No, that's well, it means that's the Urdu 2 sound. Of course it is. So that's a Urdu 2 equivalent to room underscore tone. That says it all for Y. Yay. So that's the sound of when Y presses the trigger really gently and he'll make his hand go near his weapon. So yay, there's a short looping sound in that game. It's kind of spooky. Again, oh, they just had to make a sound that repeats shortly. It's like room underscore tone the noise. For that pretty OS 5 depth. So now the time is 6.07. Then wise to well, what I said, you'll have to 2 RLT. Once again, is 1 minute too early. You'll never get it right. Oh well. Time is slower than I think it is. Speaking of time is time, this news. UTC and what he looked others where they lived. It was a spooky, big, dark, empty cave where cave dwellers will lurk in there and then get to them while they're all snoozing while there's the music. The times of when I first ever heard it. This so happened to be one of the first musics I ever heard while seeing the game for the first time. To me, remembers when I played the game, he was running on the pony in the high view all on train tracks, so there's tunnels and KV looking tunnels and all that. And then the Haws will all settle near the cave while the Pinkies will lurk around patrolling the roads just near their place. Oh, it's nighttime. All those creaky noises in the music. Number 2, as he calls it. A good old number 7, as Y calls it. We took his word for it when it comes to the user that made the Urdu 2 Wanted music. Is in the videos that says song name ... and then it says that, and then it says that it's made by WODYJCK, so we took his word for it. Otherwise, me knows what the real musics are called and their funky file names, though. B_127_A_B_OW. Maybe Mindy's the only one who cares about their file names, and that's actually being what it's called. All others call it theme, Wanted theme 7. Of all the eggs I can see on the screen, if I can guess the right one he's thinking of versus the one me picks. If I can guess the right one, then I can say CK. The bat is looking at the parrot egg. At least it was the one he was thinking about. It was close, though. Now, all of the ones I can see on screen, if I can guess the correct one, you'll let what I like spooky theme. That one is looking at the zombie pony egg. I get one last try. He's looking at that one. He's looking at the Boniton egg. You'll give one last chance. If I can guess the right one that's on the screen, you'll like the fiends and then you'll like the buddies. He's looking at, we should think outside the box. He's looking at that one right there. He's looking at that one. Better luck next time. Fuzz is made for heads, but the invented fuzz is made for mouth. We only did that with Mom once. Same experience, cuz. Or maybe a male. You want to have long fuzzle being a male, but why have to be so fluffy, though? Nothing? He heard spooky grass breaking noises. Well, now, if I can guess the right word Mindy's looking at, then you'll let like CC. He's looking at the Iran sword. He's looking at the golden one. It's maybe a little more obvious than we think it will be. And looks at the one closest to him. Now, if I can guess the right one is looking at, you'll let what like feeds. He's looking at that one. He was looking at that one. If I can correctly guess which of the bags on screen that he's looking at, it's obviously not going to be the black one. That's too obvious. He's looking at the orange one. He's looking at the red one. Hard. Oh, I should guess which of those four fishes was looking at. It's obviously going to be one that's so not obvious. It'll not be Puffy. You got too obvious. Of course it would be. Game over. Yay. Now, if I can correctly guess the time, I will have to go and get to the CCK, put in water, bed, and Z's with it for the whole night. The time is 6:13. It is. Yeah, you actually guessed it right. All the what Mandy has to do now was to go with the two LET was to not wash our hands and was to Z's with the CCK. Oh boy, what a lucky object embracer. That's what a team objects needs to do on the daily. That's what Y should do. It all sounds like what Y needs to go do, rather than Andy. Why the OS5? Why the pretty OS5 controller have to feel so good, though? I like a very generic called Ekbok. There's OS4 and then OS5 completely changed in lots of ways, but then Ekbok went another generation higher and kept the completely same menu styles and sounds. Same beeps and all that blah blah blah. Same light lookingness. The theme is of course black, while OS the theme went for being white. Although, how we will end this night now, though. I will have to end the night interacting with the two LET and then snuggling up with the two Stitch. Lucky. He's jealous knowing what to do. Well, then maybe Y should be the one to do it all. Good idea. It's time for Y to be the one to do it then. With OS5 controller. The triggers are so smooth. The triggers don't even make a very obvious sound unless I presses them rough enough. The sticks feel really smooth to interact with. The grips of the controller are more round instead of really straight. And the way the sticks are side by side instead of really awkwardly one being higher than the other. It's about time I snooze. Another really white looking video. He marked that his home, so whatever he was doing and I do with that place. The first video did make him make some place based stuff of the olden days. It had to do with a greenhouse. All those cages that make cave hiders. It all could have been in War, the emulator, Minecraft, you know. When of course referring to older builds and old Minecraft things. Definitely, if Minty could play it and make him visit all the old worlds from the OS3 itself. And hopefully it works, by the way. Then it would really make it really likable. Knowing it would have all the history. It won't just kind of rot away in the sea steam that just could die at any moment and this would lose everything. Like how it would have the will of the clothing and the objects and all that before us made the move to the OS4. Would have the really old version of the birdies willed. Then there'd be another version of the place where they used to build a giant wooden place and then made the DUMP and all that. And then they made mini carts that led to a mansion wherein F lived in. If it had been capturing all he was doing, it was. And he would personally have liked it better if all that would show forever. But I don't really know if there is a way to do it, so we can search there. He needs to explore that sea steam again and get a feel of it and get the way of the land. It's unfamiliar territory now. Smithy never really used that sea steam for myself in over a year. Now Memo Wakey, of course. Which really proves this seriousness. 6 ... And of course, Memo will be awake for an hour and 10 minutes before every day when Ness would wake up to go to prison. The 7.30 was the time when Ness would school. Of course, was awake earlier. But that tractor, though. As if it was possibly still times when us heard of a Farzi into then Y made the move from liking only the ZOUI to Ice King. When, of course, the movie was really new. Maybe it was a bit of time after it was officially watchable in theaters. Of course, it was available in the one and only NOG 22 of 2019. And then, of course, in DEC7 is when I've seen it. It really was recent when it was the first thing, of course. Then there's the time us were playing that game, of course, making him run around and all that. And why making him be Ice King? Well, Mindy made him be A and A. I mean, you know, maybe it was split screening or something. Then Mindy liked the A and A. Outcome of that could have been all this time, and Mindy would have still also liked that theme with Y. Until it's established the liking sea steam ever since then. That is a perfect opportunity to test this out. Yeah, you can put it here. Who knew that even the kings of ice can get so LD2? Even when that close to Warm Flames, king of ice can turn into ice. The creator of ice itself become one with the ice. Even though that did happen in his movie. Kingdom of Ice Man is when the Frostbite inside of Frostbite 2. Like Frostbite 2 is yikes, they're kiddo. Mm. Yeah. It just said it can't use the controller because